Hey everyone, the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notifications down below if you haven't already. Good morning, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom. I am Kevin, your host. As usual, we got the beautiful wagon wheel behind us, and hopefully still a little wisdom up here. This morning, I'm going to talk a little bit about an issue I had last night when I woke up I think it was about 1:30 a.m., and I'm going to guess that many of us are experiencing these same issues when it comes to sleeping and navigating throughout the day. The collective uses the terms the looping thoughts, and when they say we're in this looping mindset, it means we are, stuck in the past, maybe thinking about a future with them, but the constant flow of thoughts through your head is about your ex, and it's like it just cannot shut off. I've been using some new practices, different meditations that I'm just working on that have really been working. I've been experiencing some good successes with those, and I want to stress enough that what I'm finding and learning through this is that these thoughts that at times I think I can control, meditation has been the only medicine that really has helped dissipate those thoughts, and I can really feel my energy shifting when I'm doing these meditations, and more specifically meditations that are hinting towards love. Last night, like I said, I woke up about 1:30 a.m. and a freight train of negativity just hit my brain with her, and it was so intense that I was cursing God out, and no joke. Just sitting there, how long am I gonna have to go through this? This sucks so bad, I can't stand this pain. And granted, I am 4 months into this, so still a baby throughout this process, but I forced myself, and when I say forced, I forced myself to listen to a meditation. It's like I didn't have an option at that point in time. Nothing was working. I've used affirmations while going through this process at times, and that helps shift my thoughts a little bit. There was nothing in the world that was going to help me at this point in time, and my body kept telling me, meditate, meditate. So I put in the earbuds. Joe Dispenza is a person that I listen to. His meditations they're different than most, and it helped center me so much. It was a short, I think 17 or 18 minute meditation, and he has you examine just different parts of your body and feeling them in space. He always says in space a lot. I went from a negative mindset to an absolute place of complete love, and the reason that I find this to be so unique, especially with last night, was the angry thoughts about her again were, and I'm just going to be straight, thinking about her with somebody else, why the hell she had to leave me, the whole woe is me thing, and wondering why I'm on this journey, while knowing exactly why I'm on this journey. But when I get spun up like that, and I'm assuming I'm probably no different than many of you out there, these thoughts just absolutely, they ruin you for a moment. But the collective coaches out there will tell you that if you're looping, they're never going to come back. And we just have to stop with that right there. Because throughout this journey, you're going to be tested. These are tests. These are mental tests. And you're going to slip up. And things are going to not always be in this present thought about, remaining in soul and remaining balanced. We live a lifestyle that it's damn near impossible for that to happen because of, real world stuff hits us every single day. There's constant reminders of us out there, or of our ex out there. If you're like me, I see her face on so many different people. So it's not that I'm not going to be thinking about her, and I don't want anybody out there to think that you need to stop thinking about them altogether. I think that's a really unreasonable thought. But what I do believe is that when we can shift, when these tests show up, when we get into a sense of just anger and resentment and like last night, cursing the world basically is what I was doing. It's how can we balance that energy and shift us right back to a good center, a place of love, unconditional love, and most importantly, loving yourself and being okay with where you're at right now. Is every day going to be a win? Well, I tell you what, If your head can hit the pillow and you can get to sleep at night, I'd say that's a pretty damn good win. And like last night, now that I know I have the ability to shift like that, at times I would fear going to sleep and waking up because I just knew that the day would be really daunting. That's really helped diminish that fear. So if we want to talk about little victories, I would say that's a major one and a major key. The aspect of loving yourself will completely shift over into that unconditional love for everything, for everyone, including the things that we perceived as being wrongs from our ex. And last night, man, I tell you, I wanted to give up doing videos, everything. Like it was the real deal as far as the intensity of this. And I would be very disappointed in myself thinking of long term here, if I did this, because I feel compelled to convey this journey to all of you in as honest of a way as I can, so you too can resonate with it and learn some little tricks and tools that are helping me and hopefully help you guys too. Because as I've seen, even in the comments section, man, our journeys match up almost identical. So I'm hoping these things that I'm telling you really can help. So I'm back this morning after cursing the world out last night, and it feels pretty good. The second thing I want to talk about is also leans into what I just did talk about protecting your energy while in this vulnerable state, and why this is so important. There's going to be more tests that come your direction, I feel, and I'm probably going to be approaching that as well, where unless you're completely okay with being alone, that loneliness might create situations where you put yourself in a bad situation. And what I mean by that is, if you're new to this, or if you're not, if you were sleeping next to somebody for a while, the other side of the bed is pretty damn empty and lonely at times, and I can attest to that. I think about waking up and having her next to me, but the reality is that's not in the cards right now. So don't fill the other side of your bed with a bad decision, is what I'm getting at here. And there are plenty of people out in this world that take advantage of people in our vulnerable state. I learned that the hard way a few years back when I got involved in a narcissistic relationship with somebody right after I had left my ex. I made the grave mistake of not healing myself and getting into another relationship with somebody that tried her butt off to ruin my life. That's what people with narcissistic personality disorder do. Now, narcissism is a buzzword, and we maybe throw it around a lot, and there's a difference between somebody with a personality disorder and just somebody that has some narcissistic traits, because in this day and age, even I probably have a couple traits here and there. I'd like to think I'm pretty balanced and pretty humble, but they might rear their head. So there's a big difference and a fine line between the two. But what I would like to use here is a metaphor, and I like to use movies. I don't really watch movies much anymore at all, but I used to, and one of my favorite movies was the movie Goodfellas. It's a mafia movie, got Joe Pesci, Ray Liotta, and those are the two characters I'm going to use right now. In the scene where Joe Pesci is finally going to become a made guy, his character name is Tommy in the movie. And what a made guy is in the mafia means you've moved up the ranks high enough where now you've done enough work, you've made enough money, you've done enough bad deeds, they call them, probably good deeds according to them. You get now invited to be part of the quote-unquote family. What that implies is you get protection from the family, meaning other families that might, want to take you out. They can't do that. They need to, they couldn't do it in the way that they once did before you were a made guy, but they can come after you later on in different ways. But the point of this story is when Tommy learned that he was going to be a made guy, he was ecstatic. It is the ultimate goal of anybody that is in that, we'll call it line of work. And they came and picked him up. He got all dressed up in a suit. They took him to a house. Usually, when they do these, there's a big ceremony. The mob, the boss is there, the underboss, the other soldiers, and they do a ritual. Well, Tommy gets there. He's all looking good, ready to roll. He opens up the door. Boom. And I don't mean to be graphic. Tommy is no more. And why do I say that? So Ray Liotta, in his character in there, he narrates the entire movie. And in that scene specifically, when he's doing his narration of it, he makes a key point about this. He goes, when they're going to take you out, they don't show up as your enemy. They come to you as your friend. Meaning they fool you into thinking something that isn't the case, just so they can lure you in to make it the quickest and cleanest exit possible. Now, if they were to come to you as your enemy, you might see it coming, so you could run away, rat out the rest of the guys, which of course that line of work, they don't want anybody telling the cops anything they do. It's a big secretive organization. So my point is with the narcissist, that in your vulnerable state, and how important it is to protect your energy and use discernment, which is good judgment, is to look out for these people that might come into your life and lure you into a relationship. Because like a narcissist, they show up as your friend. They start out with the love bombing. They start out buying you gifts. They make you think that they're all about you. And when you're in this vulnerable state of feeling lonely, man, they'll take full advantage of that situation. So I just wanted to convey that message to you as well. This is a journey where I am beginning to understand every single day more and more how it is a path that we have to walk alone. As hard as it has been, it's why I've chosen to not date, to not sleep around with anybody, to protect my own energy, because I know me well enough to know that it would just disrupt this progress that I feel I'm making along this journey. And as I said last night, there was a major slip up, and that I have to accept that that's going to happen. It can't be a perfect transition this entire time. It would be damn near impossible. But what the goal is, I feel, is having them negative thoughts less and less each day, and having a plan in place or something you can do to get back to a spot in your soul where you're feeling that love once again. And it could even be saying something as simple as I am love over and over again, and just feeling that energy change. This is an energetic shift we're on, whether we want to admit it or not. And breakups are the ultimate test for that. Breakups with your twin, beyond even the ultimate test of just a regular breakup, because of what it has done. And as somebody that's walking this path, this pain, baby, it's it is something sometimes, and I'm kind of giggling at it, and I don't mean to, but I'm going to stay the course with this. I'm going to keep doing these videos. I'm probably going to keep waking up angry from time to time, but I like the tests that are out there, and I hope that you too embrace those tests, so you don't feel, well, as defeated and angry and cursing out God like I was last night, because that's going to, really slow you down, and worse, wake up feeling worse. So, in those moments, if you're waking up feeling angry and you can't get to sleep, try the meditations a little bit. Even if it's for 30 seconds to a minute, a little bit is better than none, and a little bit adds up to a lot over time. Always keep that in mind, you guys. Love you guys. You take care.